company that wants to come to Nigeria that will not do their research. So even if Davido did not say, once they do their research, they would see that
you get it right.
Everybody's going to go to a place where they're not going to thrive. Your grandmother is developing schizophrenia. You say, oh, your grandmother is a witch.
Nigeria needs to grow from the mentality of everything termed as spiritual.
So what's the difference between you and
the people
Tulumbu?
I thought you were in support of Tulumbu not quite long.
I do not... Me? This is what's happening on Twitter on HO3, where we bring you the latest gist from Obasanjo's internet. Yes, I said Twitter. I know some of you are saying we should call it X. So we're not going to be talking about tweets. We'll be talking about xits. Get it? X, zits. Okay, I'm not funny. Anyway, I'm Naomi.
And I'm Benny.
Before we go on, make sure you stay connected to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, because that's where all the snippets are at. Okay, Benny. The entire Nigerian system, as it stands, is set to fail. I'm supposed to speak positive as a Christian, but it's set up, sort of, or seems set up, let me say seems set up to fail us, especially the new generation, in quote. And I know I would want to even say the justice system is failed, but no, the justice system is trying. I mean, we see lawyers every day. So it's like it's just the way the entire system works together, from politics to education to health. It's like everything is just, there's a dent, or dent is even small. There's like a huge hole everywhere, and it's just stifling us. It's making us feel like
choking. I get you.
Make it better. I mean, and that is why it gets tiring to want to start up something. You want to start up a business, you're already thinking, hey, God, like, I need to go back.
Where do I start from?
Exactly. I don't think this is going to work for me. Where do I get my orders from?
Because of the nature of the country right now.
Exactly. And it's so frustrating. And I dare say that it's because the Nigerian system seems set up to fail us, that a public figure like Davido would go on the Big Homie House podcast, and they asked him, if you could go back to your country, Nigeria, to invest, would you? And bro is like, no. But would you?
Like,
would you? Literally.
Looking at the situation of the country right now, like, you'd have to think twice.
Exactly.
Before you
5
want
times
to
safe.
before you think of coming to invest in the country, because everything is literally so tight right now.
Exactly. Because Davido specifically stated that the economy is in shambles and he would never advise any investment. So it wasn't just his perspective. It was also like him telling us that apart from him, he would not tell anybody around him to invest.
To do that, yeah.
And it makes sense because in the last 1 year of Tulumbu's regime, about 7 big companies, or even more than that, have left Nigeria. Like, they've cleared us. Closed. And their products that we still manage to have here or shipping are like thrice the prices of those things.
5 times.
Exactly. Now, my point is, he said this and he had people come for him. Specifically, Nyma, who is a presenter from TVC, she fired back at him that he's a public figure, blah, blah, blah. He's not supposed to say that kind of thing on a big show. Like,
I don't see a big deal, like, because he's just been plain and he's been factual about what's going on in the country right now.
Exactly.
And so I don't see a reason to lie. Because if that video is to get to the government, I probably they might adjust or they might sit up.
We don't gonna sit up to anything. But let's quickly watch Nyma's video. Okay. Let's see what she said.
Is that when Ashwabi is taking a plane to country to look for the foreign investors that will come here, he has told them, don't come. Has he done a service to the average Nigerian inside Ede that does not know the royal family of Ede? Has he done a service to the Nigerians in Owaron, who is in the bush trying to get wood? Has he done anybody a privilege in the rice farms in Bida? No, he hasn't. He has spoken who's true. Of the elites, the people who spend the dollars, what people is talking, not the people who buy beans per pinto. We know that the country is hard. We know that these reforms were forced on us because if we had continued to feed the elites, we would be worse off. Yeah. They had to take out subsidy, stop the payments. Allocation has increased to state governors, and we are not asking the governors. No. We have removed the supplement that we give to dollars so that we can buy it cheaply. We are not forced to buy it how we see it. And this is the real value. We are suffering under that weight. And what you can say is
has me. Like at some point, I want to knock her. At some
Like,
point, I want to
I was-
say,
I was-
okay, yeah, you're making sense.
I was like, why is she getting worked up? Like, everybody has his or her opinion on anything you wish to say on any matter.
Yeah.
Because I feel Davido has the freedom of speech to say what he wants to say on anything. So if you have your opinion, you shouldn't be beating yourself up like this because it's looking like she wants to fight. Like she's ready for war.
She said he's doing us a disservice. Like Davido did Nigeria a disservice with what he said. We need foreign investors. The government said we need foreign investors. Now, what's the importance of foreign investment to our economy? Of course, it helps. It helps and it boosts our national revenue by a lot.
Yeah.
But the question is, do these companies come here and thrive? Like I said earlier, over 7 major... Do you know GlaxoSmithKline?
Yeah.
They produce drugs. Inhalers and everything. I literally saw their name on a lot of drugs I used growing up, right? And this company exited Nigeria in the last 1 year. That's just one out of several. And that's because the country is not set up to help them thrive. They're literally suffering.
Yes.
They know that if they stay here, their prices will have to even multiply.
Yes.
Production costs will not be favorable for them at all.
The materials they used to produce those drugs would multiply because take a look at just even getting things to eat in the market.
So isn't it better for those kind of companies to even exit, produce elsewhere? We import. The prices are up, but if it favors them. The truth is that no company will come here to invest if it's not favorable for them. So her saying what happens to those people at Ede or the people at Omuaron in Ilorin, like what's our business?
I don't know why she's just being all supportive about this.
To me, she took it too far.
It's just too far.
Yes.
If you don't agree with this, say, oh, okay, I don't agree. This is what the way she was reacting, like
she made it seem like, oh, just because Davido has like millions of followers or the platform that he went and spoke on has like millions of followers,
I just feel
that
like
one statement will chase all the foreign investors.
I just feel like
away.
the thing is literally affecting him. That is why he has to talk like that. Because if it's not affecting him, it will just be on the favor side, like, okay, yeah, the country is fine. You can come do what you want to do. But
I mean, if our elites,
even with all the money he has, it's still affecting
him exactly.
Nah.
With our elites complaining, Dangote crying the other day, or even Adeleke, Davido's dad, coming out to complain and like say, okay, this is what I've been going through. These are the challenges I've been facing, and it's the economy is not even set up to favor us, the elite.
True.
Talk more of the people that. So fine, yes, we do need these foreign companies to invest. We do need as many investments as we can because it would help the economy. At least it will provide employment for the average person that sees Nestle on the road and walks up and drops his CV. Right? It helps. But the thing is that it's just the country is not set up to help them. So this Nyma lady, these shouts that she's shouting, she's meant to shout that shout to the government. She's meant to shout that shout to the bodies that would help to stabilize us.
She's supporting or her supporting this thing is just not.
She just wanted to come for the video.
It's probably she's just doing it for. Probably she wants to be famous or something.
The thing, to go viral. Her intentions, like the things she was saying about the people, the poor people in Ede or Omara or whatnot. Poor people are everywhere in Nigeria, by the way. But she mentioning those people is valid because they do need the jobs. They do need blah blah blah, and that's okay. And she's saying that Davido should come and show us first how many companies he has that's producing beans and everything. That's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is, do you have a system that would favor these companies if they come into Nigeria?
The capacity to even hold them, to make them stand for a very long time.
Exactly. I was telling somebody the other day that the only companies that are coming to Nigeria with their full chest to invest now are companies that are they're basically exploiting us. I will not name names. They are benefiting so much from the way we're suffering. Like it's benefiting them. Those are mostly not the whole of it, but those are majorly the companies that are coming here to invest. However, those companies that are just that want to run a business as a business without thinking of, will I say, exploiting. Those companies, many of them are not thriving, and so they're getting out.
I even got to find out recently that that's some companies that's probably produce just ice cream alone are also diverted into food now because the
one thing is not working for them. Exactly.
So I don't see. I for one, I don't see anything wrong in what
Davido said. I get her point, but
I'm not really a fan of Davido. But I don't see anything
it's not
wrong.
about Davido. It's about the fact that he's a public figure and has a huge platform, and that's why she was crying. But that noise that she was crying is not meant for him. It's meant for people that can help to set up a good system, a good economic system that would actually invite, because there's no company that wants to come to Nigeria that will not do their research. So even if Davido did not say,
they
once they do their research, they will see that
you get it right.
we're not gonna thrive here.
True.
Nobody's going to go to a place where they're not gonna thrive.
They have to go.
They will do their research.
Details,
I mean, which big company does not do feasibility study? They'll do it, and they'll see that this is not gonna work.
No, it doesn't. It's not suitable for. Yeah.
I just feel like she's one of these people
just
that
only ranting over this thing, and it's not necessary.
exactly. It's delusional. It's delusion to sit down and think that one statement from Davido is going to backturn what the government said that we need investors. The government that today they are in UN meeting, they are in this meeting. Any investor that wants to still come here, they will do their research and they'll say that the system doesn't work for them.
They'll surely have to do one or two background research.
And it's the same delusion that is affecting many Africans. You see the truth and you choose to turn your eye away from it and believe only what you want to believe.
It's true.
Literally.
Even when the truth is right in front of you, you'll be like, nah.
I mean,
I don't have to.
Because even a primary school child will hear what this woman said and they would know that mommy because of one statement by Davido, because the platform is supposed to be big. Is the United Nations not bigger than the podcast? I mean, and is that not where our president used to fly to every day to go and say this thing? They are in one summit today, they are in another one tomorrow. The woman should please. I
just feel she took it too far.
She took it too
far.
Me, she took it too far. And as I was speaking on delusion, I was going to say that same delusion affects us down to the barest minimum. I'm talking the average woman that is selling something beside my house and a child is displaying one kind of character. She can choose to say, it's like something is wrong with my child. Instead of her to carry the child to Arrow or Yaba left, that, it's like my child is running mad. She will carry the child to one pastor or white garments pastor and say, daddy, my child has been doing blah, 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 blah. It's like my village people are after me. Now this brings me to this woman that was trending on Twitter, Helen Ukpabio. They said Helen Ukpabio is 60. I mean, what was that birthday that was even what, like, somebody posted that was what made this woman, why are you people celebrating her? I mean, she's someone that for the longest time, for years, she has convinced parents who already had that in their mind because they chose delusion that their children are witches and wizards just because they may be hyper or stubborn or they may refuse to do simple things like house
sometimes
chores.
They even inherited those things. It's gene and probably from the mother or from the father.
Some African parents find out that the reason why they used to behave hot and cold is because they have bipolar disorder and their child is just expressing a mini version of it. They will change. Because what do you mean? Now this is someone that her stories, right? People's, testimonies against her goes as far back as the 90s. Until today, she's still why would Nigeria grow? It's people that are giving her this business.
Yes.
It's people that are giving her this business. Till today, that means people are still carrying their children there. People are carrying their parents there because it's not just children. They even do it with adults. Maybe your grandmother is developing schizophrenia. You say, your grandmother is a witch. That's why your family is not making progress. Meanwhile, the woman just has mental issues.
I just feel Nigeria needs to grow from the mentality of everything termed as spiritual.
Because our belief system is so essential to how we grow. That's why it was very easy for them to fool our forefathers by giving them mirror and collecting things like gold.
Yeah, true.
Like, they told you, mirror, you can see your reflection. All of a sudden, you are in awe. You are thinking, oh my God, what is this magical? It's not magical. It's like, it's
normal. It's a normal thing.
And I don't know why Africans are like this. I don't know how. The mind is very powerful. And if we cannot start to fix our nation from our mindsets, from our superstitious beliefs, from the extremism, we cannot even grow economically, socially.
The power of the mind.
The funny thing is, with all the attacks that came from this woman, her daughter came out and was trying to defend her mom.
Is it the same daughter I saw dancing half naked at a party? She was naked, like her boobs were out and everything was exposed, and she was dancing and she was she's supposed to be delivered or either burnt.
But the daughter came and was defending her mom, right? And I mean, see, there's a lot of witnesses. The thing is, as much as you want to say people are lying or people are exaggerating or no, it's your mom's intentions are not like what we're seeing. There are people whose lives were thoroughly affected. Some of these people that came and are sharing their testimonies are people that are lucky to have been saved from this. But
lucky
most of
to
the people
escape,
that they were sold because of they were sold off to human trafficking because there's an endemic. A lot of children in Akwa Ibom are witches. All of a sudden, let's sell your children.
Is it possible for a lot of children to be witches? So are you trying to tell me that the percentage of normal children and that of witches, the witches are more higher than that of? It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Now, a lot of people share their testimonies. Anthony Ekom said, I was 14 when I was accused of being a witch in Akwa Ibom. I was given a full bottle of olive oil to drink to remove the witch from my body. That was how olive oil was coming out of my anus without control.
Oh my God.
The experience was bad. Adauna, that's Ona Witch. See, witch. Now, pay attention. She said, me too. I was stooling and puking. I was locked up in a room with the pastor who accused me. He said he'll beat me up if I don't confess, brought out his belt and threatened me. Used his dirty socks to gag me because I was screaming I was innocent.
Yeah.
Now, Art Witch said, me too. Not just me, but my cousins also. 3 of my cousins were killed because they were witches. And this whole witch hunting thing opened the gate to child trafficking in Oro and Akwa Ibom State. I know how my entire childhood was stolen because of her. Now, see this person, she calls herself Art Witch. The other tweet we read was from Ona Witch. Now, these are people that have sort of grown out of it, but are still traumatized by it. And they've even embraced the title.
The trauma would not leave so easily because
especially if it's your parents that are peddling these things, the people that are supposed to be your biggest supporters, that are
like,
supposed to nurture you.
Okay, you're my child. This is how it goes. This is how to go about this. But
yes, how are you feeling?
Like, no,
talk to me.
Go further. Go for deliverance. And then you're trying to be like, to deliver me from what?
Bruv. If a pastor should even, let's say we're in a convention and a pastor should come and touch me and say, I sense a demon inside you.
My
parents, I should know that my parents will stand up for me and say, no, my child is the heritage of the Lord.
Most African parents would not support. They'll be like, hey,
help me deliver her. Hell. Maybe that's why my business has been failing.
Yes, anytime I beat her, my body, they pay me.
Why
would your body pain you? You literally did an exercise, guys.
Literally, bruv. Nah. It's crazy. And the funny thing is, in 2010, Godswill Akpabio, who was like the governor of Akwa Ibom at the time, was interviewed because of like this whole will I call it an endemic of children being accused of witchcraft and blah 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 blah, and so many homeless children on the road. Now they interviewed him, CNN interviewed him and asked him about it, and he downplayed it. He was like, no, like the children being called witchcraft or homeless children, blah blah blah. It's been exaggerated. It's not factual and all. And so because of this thing that he said, there were like a group of people that decided to do a proper research work on this thing. They did a proper research work, and it's crazy. Basically, the result of the research is obviously parents, government bodies, all of them are literally pushing this thing. You're trying to cover up.
But what is still like making me surprised is, why are they covering up? Is it that they are enjoying something? She's giving them a bad. Share?
Nobody wants to.
Is it that she's giving them share or something?
Nobody wants to look bad. The governor at the time did not want to look like he did not know what he was doing. He did not want, even if she's paying tax, how much is the tax?
How much is the tax?
Compared to what government siphons, like government officials siphon. How much is the tax? It cannot be all that. But he didn't want to look like he did not know what he was doing. He's basically doing what Nyma was advising Davido to do. You are on an international platform.
You are just supposed
it's a
to
big
platform.
You cannot make us look bad. What are you saying to the foreign... What are you saying to the children that are being affected?
And a lot of children were killed. And while I was watching the video, I saw a lot of kids that were brutally beaten. Some of them were like dead. Some of them were dead.
Just maltreated, homeless, hungry.
Homeless, skinny,
and their parents are at home.
Malnourished.
Their parents are at home. Even those parents,
it would have been better if those parents never give birth and just like
exactly like what's the difference between that and abortion?
There's no difference.
Just know that.
Funny enough, people who look for the pregnancy don't get them. People who don't deserve it get
them. It's life is just really weird. But we need to do better. We need to do better as a government. You need to be accountable. In fact, it would have even been a lot more better if he accepted it on CNN CNN and said, yes, this thing is a problem and we're trying to deal with it. Arrest
But
this woman.
and we don't know
because
how
this
to.
is
Even if he had come clean, probably the matter would have died down by now, because if you're like, okay, this is what is going on, but we don't know how to
arrest the parents. Arrest the parents.
Stop
arrest
being
the
brutal.
It's true. Arrest the parents. Arrest the pastor.
Yeah,
because
true.
you're literally relegating people. You're
True.
relegating them, and that's the thing. It means that even him as a governor is most likely a religious extremist too, who believes it. Who knows? Maybe he has even carried half of his children to go and do deliverance.
We don't even know the connection between them
Him and the
yeah.
woman. Nah, it's crazy. As a nation, we need to do better. Our government officials need to do better. Parents need to do better. Teachers need to do better. Pastors need to do better. In fact, sometimes I wish there was an accountability body for spiritual leaders, imams, pastors, babalaos. That would just put them in check, because some of them they now even take away the essence of what these things are supposed to be, and they make it about themselves. They make it about theft.
They even rub it off on the innocent ones, on the innocent pastors.
Innocent pastors even get the heat from their rubbish, and it's just crazy. And when I say we need to do better, this also, because I'm not exempting the government, I'm just trying to let us know that all of us as individuals have a role to play.
Yeah.
And all, but same thing can be said for this guy that was arrested wrongfully in 2014 alongside a gang of robbers, and he just got released in 2024.
10 years.
Innocent guy, didn't do a thing. No proper investigation was conducted on, because typically when like maybe they raid a place, like they found out, like police find out that robbers are there and they raid the place, they may carry a lot of people. It happens to people. Now the thing is that, first of all, we know what police always say, entitled to a lawyer, blah 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 blah, you have the right to remain silent. Everybody technically has a right to a lawyer, according to like the constitution, right? You have rights to a lawyer. Now, if they've already said these robbers, we are sure that they are the thief, they don't want to do this thing, at least just do your due diligence as the police force. Ask these people questions. Let them be able to call their parents.
But I thought they used to go through this investigation. This talk man to policeman.
Yeah. When
like
they ask,
torture, they'll be like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's part of the due diligence now. You ask the guy, where were you at so time? We're trying to conduct an investigation to this thing, right? So where were you at so time? What were you doing there? Blah blah blah. What's your relationship with this person? In fact, they would even, when they call everybody, many times, most robbers, or they like to not snitch on each other. So let's say the others did not snitch on each other. It's always obvious, except maybe the guy was doing something else that was illegal. You have no right to keep this person.
But what would he have said for them to still detain him in that place?
I believe that they did not even do an investigation. They just passed them. They were sure that they were robbers.
These are the robbers, rather.
Yes, and they
just put
left
them in the cell.
And I'm sure his parents, his siblings even tried to reach him in that place. And they just like, we're not going to release him. Because it's not the first time now.
It's really not funny. Imagine him being the breadwinner of his family. Probably just went to boost his laptop to make ends meet, and then he just took him off like that. It's actually
like, you go and charge your like this is somebody. They don't say he's doing Yahoo. He's with a laptop that is his laptop. Which armed robber or which armed robber will carry laptop?
Probably the armed robber wants to do some work on the spot.
Should I say Yahoo boy? I'm speaking too much Yoruba here. I can't be showing people that. Now, research has shown that at least 70% of Nigerians are held, are detained without trial.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. That's why at the beginning when I said failed justice system, I didn't want to say fail, because there's the 30%. But most of these 30% are people that have access. They're the elites. They're not the average Nigerian.
Yeah.
The average Nigerian cannot afford a gege lawyer.
Yeah,
that's the truth, except you get it on pro bono.
Yeah.
You cannot afford a gege lawyer. So you're there, they arrested you by mistake, and your life has literally been ruined. The lives of your loved ones.
I haven't heard of a testimony like that. Like, the man is our church member. So when we went for camp, he was like, okay, he was coming back from somewhere. So the police people thought he was part of the people who came to that area to rob. And then they arrested him, and he was like, sir, I'm innocent. And he was trying to explain.
And they do not want to hear him out.
Miraculously, we don't know how it happened. He came to share the testimony that he got released, and I was like, imagine he was not released.
That's one of the few cases out of so many people that are not released, or like this guy that's released after 10 whole years. 10 years
how
of
many?
his life wasted.
Imagine he was 40. So
now he's 50. Life is gone. Who will employ him?
What would you want to do at the age of 50?
They will even call him an ex-con, even though they know that he was wrongly accused. Now, someone said, the tweet is anonymous, said, from going to charge laptop due to lack of light to being raided and branded a criminal, then having to spend a decade in prison for nothing. Nah, this country is not a real place for real. Please, y'all should go follow this NGO, Ray of Hope _PO for more this. Oh no, they have been at the forefront of fighting for his freedom. Yeah, you people should actually follow that, Ray of Hope _PO. Follow them, because I mean, if we have more bodies like this that even look out for these kind of cases, and I know people that do that, they usually try to release at least maybe 10. They usually, I know different agencies, maybe some will target 10 wrong prisoners per month, 20 per year, and blah blah blah. And at least that helps. It goes a long way to help. But the cocoa is, why is the justice system entirely not doing the due diligence up to the way they are supposed to do it? It's unfortunate.
It's really so, and it's unfair to the civilians.
I'm going to read this. It's like a segment under law for the Constitution. It says, you're entitled to remedies if the court holds that you were detained unlawfully. Section 35, (6) of the 1999 Constitution states that any person who is unlawfully arrested or detained shall be entitled to compensation and public apology from the appropriate authority or person. For more information, check What Happens If I Win or Lose section under the Fundamental Rights Enforcement Procedure Guide. Basically, my point is this. Nigerian government owes this guy plenty money and a public apology.
Do you think they would do that?
I don't know if they will, but my point is that apology is not even enough. It doesn't make up for 10 years.
Oh, sorry, sir. We mistakenly arrested you for your...
We would make sure that you don't die when you're supposed to die. We'll add an extra 10 years to your life.
Okay, so if I'm the guy. Oh yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my government. You are good.
Thank you,
the judiciary.
If I
thank you.
Like it's crazy. I really feel for the guy.
Just last week, right? My friend called me and said, Naomi, I'm at the police station. My first question was, what are you doing there?
Right? To greet
where you went to? What are you doing there? He said, They arrested me. Just come. What did you do? Just come. That's how I got there. Kilo Shele. They just carried him. No reason.
For no cause.
He was on his way out. They were like at a checkpoint. Like it's not even an official checkpoint. Not just checkpoints that they just set up so that they can do one or two. They carried this boy. Do you know how he even got released? We were even thinking we may have to press money. Thankfully, the man that was in charge, the man that was on his own case, go, is from my state. So, as we were having back and forth, I'm like, this guy is a good guy, cannot do anything wrong. I'm sure he did not do anything, blah, 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 blah. As we're having that back and forth, the way he was talking, I'm like, sir, which state are you from? He said, Benue State. I said, me too. He shake hands, Next thing I know, he said, okay, don't worry. I'll give you to my sister. That's how he said. He told the guy that he would give him to me. And that's how he got released. So if I don't have the privilege of that, I may have to do back and forth. Next thing I know, I may have to even pay money for somebody that did not do anything.
If you're not able to raise that money, you can just say he's going to stay until you're able to gather the money.
It should have been so sad. I was laughing at my friend when we left. I was laughing at, like, how did you get yourself? He was traumatized. They didn't even give him access to his phone for the first couple hours. It's okay,
which is supposed to be the first thing
exactly. Yeah. They didn't give him access to his phone. It was later he was not able to reach out to me and a couple other people. And that's so sad. That's so sad. Normally, that kind of person, even if you picked him up alongside other people, do the due diligence, investigate.
True.
Nigeria. Oh, God. No case. And the thing is, when I say that, the accountability also has to do with the fact that no proper case files. Like, everything is done manually. They are writing paper. You enter a police station, everything is paper.
Sheet of paper.
No,
You know, it's just reminding us of those unserious students in back then in school. They'd be like, okay, everybody have your notes. Why the unserious ones just have a sheet of paper?
sheet of paper. It's sad.
It just shows the level of unseriousness that the police people have.
And you see them building police station up and down. You people can buy blocks, but you cannot buy system.
Nah.
Do you know how much it is to build a house now? Do you know how much bag of cement is?
You know how much a brick
If
is
people
now?
are, but as in, if people you are building police station here and there, but you cannot get a proper computer system that you'll be able to use to document
log
all
in
your
all the
files
files
and know
everything.
who is who, what they did, why they are here, whether they were wrongfully picked
All
up.
the-
Nothing like that.
Nigeria is blessed.
Nothing like that. It's sad. The Nigerian prison system has over 70,000 inmates, from Kirikiri to the ones in Ogun State,
And
to
the
the ones in
Ibis.
Abuja, to the ones in different states.
The
Over
Ibis.
70,000. And
Those
if
people
in these
are literally-
70,000, we say 70% of them are wrongfully accused. We cannot continue with this system where it's like nothing seems to work. At least if because it starts somewhere. If there can be a working system in one sector, and everything, at least to a large extent, falls in place, it can affect another sector. And we develop working systems everywhere. And these systems, I'm not talking about sectors just for politics. I'm talking healthcare, I'm talking schools, I'm talking homes, even the way that we raise
Offices
people, so
and
that you not
everything.
have mind to go somewhere and want to cheat. Because that's how this Ebonyi State governor literally caught his employees, like civil servants at the state hospital, who have been siphoning hospital facilities and like selling them, right? And if you watch the video, the guy was the governor, right, showing the papers. Oh, this journal is for antenatal. This one is for
immunization.
But why is it in journals? Why is it not in systems?
systems.
Why are these things not digitally recorded? But that's even by the way. My problem here is those people that were selling it. They know that at the end of the day, they have enough money that if they are arrested today, they will get bail. They have enough connection that if they are arrested today,
True.
they will get out, and it's not even be on their records. It's not be on
I
their
just
records.
feel like the government should have always followed up on all this because they are spending money on those documents, on those facilities. They are supposed to follow up and like, okay, let's see what's either send part of the committee and like, okay, you go to this hospital, go check what's going on, because you know we're spending a lot on them. So
Yeah.
let's see what they are doing with the money and how they are improving, what's going in, what's coming out, what's going up and what's coming down.
How are you using our resources?
Because
basically?
if those things were to be checked, all these things wouldn't be happening. Things like, okay, they smuggled some books out. And
I mean,
then
you're
they
not
are
even selling
reselling and-
X-ray machine. It's journal you are selling. Like you're not stealing
Like,
X-ray
yeah,
machines. You're not stealing things that are like
something that are
proper-
valuable.
Valuable is this thing. I mean, I'm sure they sold some of those kind of things, but let's watch the video first. Let's hear what the man is saying, because Baba they vex.
I've seen it time without number. You know how on primary health care, and you have the opportunity to be a civil servant. And all these things are in their own custody and they're selling it. Today that is Saturday, you call somebody, a buyer, to come and start loading it. Now this is immunization register. Try immunization register. Please do not falsify any data. And they're selling it. The other one is non-polio vaccine cards. And they have loaded full vehicles. And this is not the first day. This is not the second day. This is not the third day. I've seen these vehicles here more than 4 times. For not being in office for almost 2 years, I've sucked in more than 6 billion naira in buying equipment for the primary health care and the general hospitals. And this is exactly what you people, the storekeeper.
6 million naira in buying equipment for primary health care and
billion
billion naira in buying equipment for primary health care and general hospitals. You mean you've put 6 billion naira and we cannot see machines?
You can't even do a thorough back check
to see where the money is going to. If not that, you safe, you know that plus the people that you are delegating the money to, you people you are siphoning it. You know
they're
that
all on serious, actually.
you know that if you are using 6 billion naira in 2 years to get equipment, we know what we'll be seeing. You will not be holding journal and saying this is for polio vaccine.
supposed to be
paper.
using
When you're
MacBook.
supposed to be documenting this
MacBook.
thing on systems. So that you have proper records. That's why people, you cannot. Most medical places are not accountable. Normally, you're supposed to go to a hospital, the hospital where you're born, and look for your documents.
Yes,
and
you will
if everything
find
will be intact. Before you find it in Nigeria, you will sleep there.
They'll say, this also then you see us up like, what year was that? Which files are you talking about?
1998.
Those files have been trained. See, you not tell them.
Or they will even tell you that it was burnt. It burnt down 5 years ago. That room where it was stored, but 5 years ago there were computers. You guys were supposed to convert those things to digital. Nah. Now somebody said until capital punishment is fully reinstated to deal with criminals of any kind, especially in government and its agencies, then we are not ready as a nation. Nah. Capital punishment it's one thing.
Yeah.
Right? Accountability is what's important, and it needs to be taught from the littlest systems, from the schools, the homes, blah blah blah, so that you will not get to a particular place.
Actually,
exactly, it starts with us. Someone said that governments should penalize heads of departments or blah blah blah. The head of departments you want to penalize, it's not you and him that are stealing together. You tell the HOD, once they bring this thing, blah 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 blah, my buyer is coming to get it, or don't worry, I'll give you 20%. So how do you hold those kind of people accountable? They are seeing the things you're doing. They are seeing how you're stealing.
Yeah,
so they will be made to steal. No, but the accountability, it's not just in the punishment sense. It needs to be taught. People need to reevaluate their values.
But the thing is, people in organizations, the people who are good are very rare.
Very rare. And if they will want to make you the black sheep if you're a good person. If you're a good person and you're
trying to be like, okay,
they'll sideline you.
They'll be like, wait till we don't do for here for 10 years before you come. Now you just won't come.
In fact, if they can help you get sacked, they'll help you get sacked.
They will look for ways to bring you down, either blackmail you or do something just for you to be evicted out of that
but
place.
I mean, we can only try. The governments can only try. The agencies can only try. These bodies, leaders can only try. I mean, leaders need to be better. But if you're a good leader, you can only try to, set up systems where, they'll be punished, where people will be held accountable for their wrongdoings or their right doings, depending on what it is that they do. You can only try. Because then, you take a look at this dispatch rider that was trending too, about because you used to collect money in double ways. So I send out my package to you. For my end, you already collect 3K. Now you not get to say, madam, na 3K, that's 6K.
Yeah.
He has already done double portion next level type of thing. That's the way the guy operates. Not once, not twice. He has done it with a lot of people, which who would not be confused. I thought I paid. No, I already paid. Next thing, the guy is gone. Now, say this dispatch, right? Let's just read the tweet from Captain Arinze, right?
Okay.
He said, my wife ordered something from a Nigerian vendor and it was delivered to her house in Lagos. The vendor had already paid the delivery guy 3,700 for the service. When the delivery guy arrived, he collected another 3,700 from my gate man. Later, when my wife and the vendor realized they had both paid for the delivery, the vendor called the guy to ask for a refund. Instead of apologizing or returning the money, the guy got offended and said they were bothering him over just 3,700. It is crazy how people, I know, right? It is crazy how people like to blame politicians for everything, but the truth is, many regular people have no integrity either. Exactly.
For real.
Our values are so messed up that finding an honest person feels like looking for a needle in a haystack these days. Paul Uber said, it is the same society that we live in, so we're all shaped the same way psychologically. The common only complaint about the corrupt leaders the common, that's we, only complain about the corrupt leaders because they don't have the opportunity yet. I mean, we said this.
It's true.
Same mindset of violating traffic signs is the same mindset that drives a leader to embezzle public funds. It is the same mindset but different settings. It's the same mindset that would make a person cut corners when queuing on an ATM. It's the simple things. I tell people, if you're one of those people that you're on an ATM line and you figure out a way to jump, people have been queuing for the longest time. You jump and go to the front. You are like a leader.
You have that thing, but it's just that you've not been placed in the right
space for you to cheat us.
Do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
So what's the difference between you and
the people
Tulumbu?
I thought you were in support of Tinubu not quite long.
I did not I did not say Tinubu, I said Tulumbu. Please. So it's not the same thing. Before they say that I said something against somebody's president. Tulumbu is different from Tinubu, please.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Let me act like I believe you.
Please. Now it all boils down to this. We have a failed justice system. I will name not call it failed to an extent, right? Let me honor those that are doing right.
Mm-hmm.
We have a system that lacks consequences for people's actions to an extent, zero accountability, and many oftentimes rich people escaping justice. Because that even brings me to this man, that Senator Ike Ekweremadu, yes, and his wife Beatrice, that were arrested in the UK for organ trafficking. If it was in this country, that case is gonna be dead.
Settle.
We're not gonna hear anything about it.
Once they settle the policeman, they give you like 1.5. They give the other one like 2M.
That 2M is even, it's small. No, and those people, they collect plenty money. 2M is small. They will pay proper millions and everything. Then the case is going to die. But I mean, those people, they are in the UK. They are serving a jail term right now. Who cares? Who remember that they were politicians here? A whole former deputy president. Nobody knows that.
We don't want to know your
position. They don't even want to know. Their own is, you did wrong. You were trafficking human organs. You have to pay the price.
Serve your
term. My people, remember, this is what is happening on Twitter on HO3. Sometimes we talk fun. Sometimes we talk about things that make our hearts heavy. Because right now, I want to beat somebody. Remember to stay connected with us across all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. We are everywhere. Follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where we have these wholesome conversations that affect our lives. Fix your mindset. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Once again, I'm Naomi. And
I'm Benny.
Yeah. Bye.